boys and girls, babies in your diapers. Welcome to the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Hoy.
That's me, Tiberius. Today we're going to talk about some very awesome stuff. We have a video game about being a chef, a book about Hogwarts, and we have a totally awesome guest. Today we have the one, the only, the amazing Dave Krepcho. Dave's the president and CEO of the Second Harvest Food Bank of Central Florida.
Thank you, Tiberius. Great to be on the show.
Well, today we're going to start off with the video of the week, and this is going to be a delicious dish.
And now it's time for the video game of the week.
Today's video game is Chef's Life. So this is a game on the Roblox platform. It was made by XGI_MMY Studios. Because it is on Roblox, you're able to play it on PC, Mac, Xbox, and even your cell phone. And it is free. And now this game is for chefs. It simulates running a fast food place with stocking inventory and cooking food. I entered this game, and boy does this place look very cool. You see 6 spots. You have to pick one, and then you have a fridge, a fryer, and a grill. You can make the food, but you won't want to hire a chef soon. You can build stuff and get more space, and you get money from your customers. You can hire cooks to prepare the food, and cashiers to take the orders, janitors to clean up the messes, engineers to fix the mechanical items, and a manager to handle the ordering.
What a neat game.
You can run out of food if you don't own enough supplies. I give Chef's Life 10 out of 10 stars because it is so much fun to make food, and it is even better when you earn money and try out new types of tables to let your customers eat in.
That sounds so cool. We have some chefs on our staff here and a big kitchen. So I got to check out that game with my grandkids too. I think they'd love that.
Wow. It's pretty cool. Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community and serving Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties, contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousecfl.org. The Tiberius Show would like to thank one of our dedicated sponsors, Custom Designs Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom Braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering, to trophies and awards. They can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0373. And now it's time for the book of the week, A Pop-Up Guide to Hogwarts. This book is written by Matthew Reinhardt. Mr. Reinhardt is known as the best-selling pop-up engineer. Let me read to the back of the book. In fact, Dave, would you like to do the honors?
I would love to. Thank you. So Harry Potter, A Pop-Up Guide to Hogwarts is an exhilarating interactive guide to the iconic school of witchcraft and wizardry. Whoa! This book features spectacular pop-up recreations of key locations inside and outside Hogwarts Castle, and it opens flat to form a pop-up map of a castle and its grounds. Awesome. Including the Quidditch pitch, the Forbidden Forest, and beyond. In addition to large pops on each spread, numerous mini-pops bring to life beloved elements from the Harry Potter films, such as the Marauder's Map and the Flying Ford Anglia. Each pop includes insightful text about Hogwarts as seen in the films, making for a must-have collectible for fans of the Wizarding world. Sounds awesome.
So you can get this book on Amazon, and this is a great book about Hogwarts. What this is an informational book, but this is still a cool book. What's really super cool about this book is that each page is a pop-up where the paper folds and a full-size building pops up in front of you. There are side pops up like the Tri-Wizard Tournament. When you open up the mini book, a dragon pops out. And then you open that, and the dragon then pops out. Each item has all sorts of information about what this item is and what happened in the story. So most people already remember the story. Remember, this is an informational book, not a storybook. But the story is about Harry Potter and his adventures. Now, there are only 5 pages in the book, but each page has a building, about the building and what happens inside. So first I have the Hogwarts Castle, and they talk about our 3 heroes, Harry, Hermione, and Ron. Then you have the classrooms and the room of requirement. That was that cool room that shows up when you need it. The 3rd page is the Quidditch arena and talks about how the game is played. Page 4 is the Hogsmeade Village with the Marauders map. This was a cool map that showed where everyone was. The last page is the Forbidden Forest, and it had the flying car and the spiders, and it looked so cool. I give the pop-up guide to Hogwarts 10 out of 10 stars because I really like that the book had all the facts you ever wanted to know about Harry Potter. And the pop-ups were so much fun to explore, and they were very detailed. See Tiberius Smith Law.com.
You can call him at 407-801-2667.
Wait, you are not Chuck.
My dad can help when people get hurt. He loves to help.
If you are ever injured at work or in a car accident, you should call my friend Chuck.
You can call him at 407-801-2667.
That website again is cwsmithlaw.com.
Offices, Orlando.
Does it actually have that much W's?
Mid-State Fire has been providing top-quality fire equipment services for 3 generations to the Central Florida area. Don't wait for an emergency to repair. Call Mid-State Fire today at 407-246-8855. Get your fire extinguishers and emergency lighting for both your home and businesses by visiting www.midstatefire.com. That number again is 407-246-8855. It's now time for an interview of an interesting person. Today's guest is going to be so much fun. Today we have the one, the only, the amazing Dave Krepcho. Dave is the president and CEO of the Second Harvest Food Bank of Central Florida. So first off, how are you enjoying being on the show?
I love it. You know, I've done a lot of shows over the years, but this is, I think, one of my favorites. It's one of the most unique.
So I see you started in Chicago, and now you are in Orlando. What exactly do you do?
What do I do? Well, I am, like you said, the president and CEO of Second Harvest Food Bank. So as an organization, you know, we take all this extra surplus food that people might waste, you know, that might be wasted, but it's perfectly edible, and we get it to the people in need. So we do that in a really big way. And my job here is to lead just a mighty team in getting that, collecting the food, distributing the food, working with people throughout Central Florida, and just making sure we do it in the most efficient way possible. You know, last year we distributed in Central Florida enough food for 72 million meals. Whoa.
Wow.
Busy team.
Oh. So what is the best part about running a food bank?
That's a great question. The best part is that at the end of every day, I know that I and my team have made a difference in people's lives every single day. Because lots of these people, they don't know where their next meal is going to come from. And in Central Florida, it's about 1 in 4 kids do not know where the next meal is coming from. And then there's senior citizens and other people that are working full time. So, you know, they just don't have enough income or money to buy food, to pay the rent, and buy medicine and that. So at the end of every single day, we know that we've helped lots of people. So that's got to be the best part. And I get a chance to work with really cool people here on the staff. And I get to talk to neat people like you out in the community that are getting the word out.
Mm-hmm. So is this more than just collecting and giving food? And do we have to cook food as well?
Yeah, that's another great question. Yeah, it is collecting and giving out food, but we do have a giant commercial kitchen. It's about as big as a house, okay? And we produce 14,000 meals a day out of that kitchen.
Wow.
And we deliver them as well every single day through Central Florida. So, yeah, lots of meal production. Volunteers love coming in and helping build those meals with us and getting it organized and getting it out. So, yeah, it's getting food in and out of here, and it's making meals at the same time.
Wow. So what is the hardest part about running a food bank?
The hardest part about running it, and especially now during the COVID pandemic time, the hardest thing is knowing how stressed out my staff is. We are distributing twice as much food on a daily basis as usual. We're distributing enough food for 300,000 meals each day. So the hardest thing is, seeing my staff work that hard and getting stressed, and can they keep up? That's really, really tough. So you got to keep the team strong because, thousands of people are depending on us.
That is very cool. So your bio says that Second Harvest has distributed over 72 million meals and helped over 250 people get jobs.
Oh, yeah, the whole job thing. Thanks for bringing that up. So we have a separate kitchen where we do culinary training and job placement. So we'll bring in people for 16 weeks, full-time at no cost to them. And these are people of low income, or about a third of the people coming in are homeless. And we're training them with professional chefs, and they teach everything about you need to know to work in a kitchen, out in a restaurant or at a resort or a hotel and that. And then we teach them life skill training too. Things like how you do a household budget, and how do you do a resume, or how do you have that conversation with somebody who might want to give you a job. So yeah, we've placed 250 people to date, graduated, and we have 100% job placement rate. So their lives are being changed, their lives and their family lives, and they can earn a nice income where they can put food on their own table. So it works out good for everybody involved.
Wow. So what is the achievement that you are most proud of?
Whoa, that's another good one. I would have to think that it's in the Orlando facility that I'm sitting in right now. And we built this designed it from the ground up about 6-7 years ago. And we designed it to make a huge impact in terms of the amount of food that we can get to people in need, and also have a facility where volunteers would really want to come in and enjoy their experience and have fun. And we got Disney involved. They came in with their Imagineers, and they hand-painted murals and hallways. So you got to come visit us sometime. It's a fun, upbeat place, and people like getting engaged. So that's got to be one of the proudest achievements, because we had to go out and raise $17 million to build this place. Mm-hmm. So the community was extremely generous, saw the need for it, and joined forces with us. So, the building's going to be here for decades to come and continue to, benefit this community.
Wow, that is pretty cool. So I see in your bio that you are on a lot of boards. What are boards, and why are they important?
Boards of directors are important to nonprofit organizations and for-profit companies. But these are people from the community, professionals that volunteer, their professional expertise for the organization. And they make sure that Dave is doing the right things as well. They're my boss. So, on our board, we have people from Disney, Universal Orlando. We have them from Darden Restaurants. from just law firms, accountants, you name it, and all that professional expertise can be offered, to help run the food bank. So we wouldn't have to hire a bunch of people and pay them a bunch of money to provide those skills. And the board members also are responsible for helping raise money for the organization, and also help raise awareness that there's hunger in this community. So they're really important as board members, and all of my board members have a great passion for the cause. They have huge hearts first and foremost, and that is so important. So boards are absolutely vital to the health of an organization.
Mm-hmm. So I have been sharing a video about kids at Title I schools that don't get lunches during the summer. The Rotary Club of Orlando has a GoFundMe page which will raise funds for the Second Harvest Food Bank, because each dollar goes further by the food bank. So how much of a difference could $25,000 make?
Woo, $25,000 is significant. For every dollar donated to Second Harvest Food Bank, we distribute $9 worth of groceries. So do the math. So 9 times 25,000, that's at least $200,000 worth of groceries being distributed. So it's this multiplication,
Madness.
That's going to provide it's going to provide over 100,000 meals to people.
Wow. I can't imagine what it would be like not to go into the fridge and not have any food in it. What happens to children when they don't have food?
Yeah, what happens to kids is that, first of all, if you want to be able to, keep growing and stay healthy and stay strong, you need proper nutrition. And there are medical studies done of young children, if they don't get enough proper nutrition, that certain disabilities can happen in their it's called cognitive learning disabilities. And some of that, they don't overcome in time. So education, right, is so important. And if you can't learn, you can't earn, when you become an adult. So it's just absolutely vital. And the more nutritious food that you can eat and more regularly, you're going to stay healthy longer, and you're going to be more active, and you'll be able to do all kinds of cool things like play these awesome video games, or go through the Hogwarts books and that kind of thing, and to keep your mind, active and healthy. In Central Florida, believe it or not, there are just over 214,000 children that don't know where their next meal is coming from.
Wow.
So we got a big job ahead of us to get the food to them.
Wow. So what can kids my age do about it?
Well, let's see. You're a great example of what you're doing right now. You're spreading the word about the issue of kids going hungry. You're doing a phenomenal job with a goal of $25,000 to raise that. And kids can, whether it's $10 or $25,000, if it's a bag of food or a can of food, all that makes a difference. And also, you can come in with your parents and volunteer here. We need volunteers to get our job done. We depend heavily on them. And over the course of the year, we have 20 to 30,000 volunteers coming in. So every hand, every hour of volunteer work makes a difference. And, just spread the word to your friends and your family. And so people are aware that we have a hunger issue here.
Wow. So what advice do you give my listeners if they want to grow up and work in the food bank industry?
When I was a kid, there was no such thing as a food bank industry. That's a new thing. But nowadays, the best way to get involved, and this is the way I got involved, 26 years ago, I volunteered at a food bank.
Wow.
And by volunteering, you get to see how a food bank is run. It's very enlightening. You learn a lot. And the more you volunteer, the more you can learn. And then, as you go through school and you get to, say, to college one day, there are courses in nonprofit management. And UCF has one of those that's a great school. And you can actually go to school to learn how to run a nonprofit organization. And there's all kinds of those, they can have to do with the arts, they can have to do with health, or the social services like feeding people, that kind of thing. So just going back to what I first said, volunteering is the first taste of it, and then when you're in there, just keep asking great questions like you are. And when you get into middle school, you can do a little bit more of that. And like I said, in college, if it really gets your attention, you can really pursue that in your studies.
Wow. So if you could go back 10 years and tell yourself something, what would it be?
Oh, man, I love that question. Nobody has ever asked me that. You're going to stump Dave, maybe. Okay, 10 years back. What would I tell myself? It would be to be patient and to listen as good as I can possibly can. That in this kind of work, it's not a sprint, okay? It's a marathon. It's a long race, it's a long haul, and you got to be patient. Sometimes I wanted things to happen a lot quicker, and they just weren't possible. So I had to learn that, and I wish I would have told myself 10 years ago to be more patient. I'm getting better and better at it most of the time. I still have work to do on that. But that would have to be it.
Well, what is that one question that you think I forgot to ask you?
I guess it would be, what would you like to tell Central Florida? I would like to thank them. We at the food bank have a lot of gratitude for their generosity in supporting our organization. As volunteers, as donating money or donating food, or just talking about the important work that we do. Okay. That we can't thank people enough. And we cannot do it by ourselves. And our vision is to inspire and to engage the community to end hunger. So everything that we do, we look to inspire and engage, to get people involved. And folks are responding. So that's why I say, thank you, Central Florida.
Well, thank you, Dave, for being my special guest. Can you stick around for Math Corners?
Sure can. Looking forward to it.
The Tiberius Show would like to thank Boggy Creek Airboat Adventures for being one of our sponsors. I got to go on an airboat and saw a real gator. I even got to go to the gem mine and mine for some gems. We ate a steak dinner at the restaurant and even got some gator rights. If you want to have a blast with the entire family, I suggest you go to www.bcairboats.com right now. Get your tickets today. The website again is bcairboats.com. Oak Ridge Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearm training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trades, gunsmithing, and concealed weapon classes. I even got my training for gun safety at Oak Ridge Gun Range. Great customer service, and firearm safety is what they do best. So find out more at oakridgegunrange.com.
Tiberius' favorite subject, it's Math Corners!
Well, thank you, Dave, for helping me with Math Corners. Today, we're going to talk about multiplying value. When you donate to a food bank, you get more value than you just went and bought the food. Now, according to Second Harvest Food Bank website, each dollar amounts to 6 pounds of food or 5 meals. So there are 90 days of summer, and most kids get 3 meals a day. So 90 times 3 is 270 meals per child. So if you want to feed 200 children, you need to take 270 times 200, then you get 54,000 meals. Now, if each dollar is the same as 5 meals, then you have to take 54,000 meals and divide it by 5 to get a minimum of $10,800. That has to be raised. But during COVID-19, the parents can't work either, so we have to feed them as well. According to Orange County, the average of a family is 2.5 people, which means we could take 10,800 and times it by 2.5 to feed 200 families. We almost need $27,000. So this is so much better than trying to buy all the food yourself because it would cost so much more. So Dave, do you now know how much it would cost if they did not have the Second Harvest Food Bank?
It would cost a heck of a lot. I can't do the math in my head. It would not be affordable because those folks are trying to figure out how do they pay the rent or the mortgage? How do they put gas in their car? How do they buy clothes or medicine and buy the food? And the math just doesn't work, There's a saying that said there's too much month at the end of the money.
Mm-hmm. According to my dad, if they only ate fast food, it would be close to $162,000 just to feed the kids only. Well, thank you so much, Dave, for your help with math learners.
My pleasure.
As you know, we talk about the qualities of living by a heart of a lion, which stands for leadership, integrity, obedience, and nobility. This week, we're going to talk about nobility. For me, I think nobility is remembering where God's special possessions and acting in a noble way, showing courage and honor. The qualities of nobility are goodness, virtue, honor, generosity, and selflessness. I saw nobility with the Rotary Club my dad belongs to. They do a number of things that shows nobility, like doing the Pledge of Allegiance and playing God Bless America before every meeting. They also believe in service over self. This means that they look at their actions and how they affect other people first. They started this GoFundMe project, and it was suggested by Mindy, a lady my dad knows. Together, they show selflessness by working hard to make videos, share posts, and calling others to help raising money needed to help children in Central Florida that don't have food on their table. So, Dave, did you see or use nobility at all this week?
I see a lot of nobility around the food bank each and every day, from the staff members and volunteers that are practicing that value. You mentioned Rotary is such a great example of service above self. I love that slogan or that motto, and we really share that at Second Harvest. That if you can dedicate yourself to helping your neighbor in some way, in small ways, big ways, it doesn't get any better than that. And then I see all these feeding partners that we work with, and they are doing incredibly noble work each and every day, and getting, putting food on people's tables.
Mm-hmm. And we should always try and be lion strong in everything we do. And that's our show, folks. I want to thank the one, the only, the amazing Dave Krepcho for being on my show. It has been so much fun talking with you today. Maybe one day I can visit your center and learn more about how the food bank works.
Thank you for having me on the show. And you can follow the food bank on Facebook. Just put in Second Harvest Food Bank in Central Florida. And our website, too, is feedhopenow.org.
And be sure to listen to us next week on the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy!
The Tiberius Show is not filmed in front of a live studio audience. Executive producer Joseph Boy. Production editor Pierre Laguerre. Green Room manager Danny Boy. and your program host, Tiberius Boy. The Tiberius Show is copyright 2018.